The parents cried when they learned how the lynx repaid them for its rescue. Hi guys, sometimes it just takes a split second to make the right decision. If you take too long time to reason, think about the danger in a critical situation. Then it will most likely end badly. Especially when it comes to saving someone's life. You must quickly choose to help someone in need or to keep yourself safe. The heroine of this story chose the first option. A man dreams of living in nature all his life. He was born in a village located in the taiga jungle. But he had to move to town when he was a teenager, because his parents were offered a good job there. When he was growing up, he found a job with his father. But he still hasn't given up hope of leaving town. Over time, the guy got married and had a daughter. The man was certainly bored with city life, but he knew all too well that his daughter wouldn't have the same chance to live in the countryside as she did in the city. So the man still lives for the life of the city and the neighbors who are hard to love. It was not until his daughter was 20 years old and got married that the man remembered the dream of his own. He convinced his wife and they moved into a small house by the river, surrounded by taiga forest. And so began their new life. And a few years later, they start their own farm and only come to town to sell their produce at the market. On weekends, the man happily goes fishing or spends time wandering in the local forests, picking mushrooms and berries. It was during this walk that he saw something moving in the bushes. Someone small and soft. The man thought it was a cat, but upon closer inspection, he realized it was a lynx kitten. It seems that the kitten has lost its mother and wandered for days in the forest in search of food. The animal was very thin and could barely stand on its own 2 feet. The man immediately realized that the kitten could not have survived without his help. Without wasting time, he brought the little lynx back to his farm and concocted a special recipe to feed the little lynx. Before long, the animal grew and had the strength to run around the yard and play with the granddaughter of the man who accompanied her parents almost every weekend. A whole year passed like this. Lynx behaved like a normal domestic cat, only occasionally glancing in the direction of the hen coop. One weekend, the man took his family for a picnic in the woods. They carry their own lanyards while making the barbecue. The niece is playing with her pet as usual. Suddenly the child started crying, so the adult turned around and saw a terrible image. The girl was lying on the grass and about 3 feet away from her was a black snake that looked very much like a viper. It was curled up in a circle and ready to strike. The parents immediately ran to try to save the child, but the snake rushed towards their daughter. Fortunately, Lynx stopped him at the last moment. She jumped up and stopped the attacking vipers with her feet. However, she only managed to throw the snake aside and it dashed through the lynx. Despite some bites, the lynx continued to fight for just a few seconds. She tore up the snake and lay down on the grass, healing her wound. Then suddenly she jumped up and ran towards the forest. The girl began to cry, fearing that her pet was about to die. The wounded animal quickly disappeared into the forest. Everyone was scared and could not regain consciousness for a long time, and the girl looked towards the forest in tears and called for her savior to return. The picnic was clearly ruined, so everyone went home. The animal was clearly bitten by a lot of snakes and ran off into the woods to die. Imagine the man's surprise when 2 days later he found the lynx in his own warehouse. It was still a little lethargic, but it was clear from her demeanor that she would be fine. Seeing her boyfriend in danger, Lynx wasted no time thinking. She immediately rushed to help. It is worth noting that at that time the animal did not think about its own safety. Despite the constant bite of the snake, the predator continued to fight until it was certain that the child was no longer in danger. Had the lynx stopped and fled, Bieber would most likely have turned to the child, and the story would have had a very different ending then. Friends, that's all for today. If you like this video, give the blue video like icon, share it with your friends, and don't forget to comment. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next programs.